Okay, this is a 2012 Buick Verano. I just changed the alternator on it. I seen a video on YouTube and it seemed to be, it's kind of hard to understand the man, so I felt like I should, I used what he taught and kind of went through the motions myself and figured it out a little bit more in depth, so I'll give you a better insight or a better understanding on how to do it. First, you're going to come over to this thing, and there's a hose that connects to here that slides right out. This right here is a flathead. It's connected right here, and then there's going to be one on the bottom. It's a flathead too as well. Just loosen up those. You don't have to take this one off. I just picked it up and moved it to the side. Of course, you're gonna have to take off the faceplate right here, and you just take that off by unscrewing that. And then there's a bolt right here. That's a 10 millimeter. So you just pop that off, and then they pop off right there and right there. And then we're gonna get into here. I know in a video he says you need to take off the top hose. I didn't take it off. I didn't have to. I figured out how to just kind of squeeze it in there. It did take a little bit of maneuvering, but I did get it in there easy. Got the old piece out and got the new one in. Now right here is a connector. I just used a flathead and kind of just pried it in there and just popped it out with some leverage. It popped right out. This one is I believe it's a 15 millimeter, no, excuse me, 13 millimeters. So this is a 13 millimeter and this is a 13 millimeter. And this one's a 13 millimeter as well. I just used a longer one. So I have a longer one because of the top right here. So, because the smaller ones wasn't able to do it. Now also, there was a mention of taking this out. This actually unscrews, and then there's the long bolt. I didn't take it out. I didn't have to take it out. I was able to easily just slide it off and do that without having to remove this. Also, there is a battery connection under the bottom. That one also is a 13 millimeter. It's just a screw and then a little I don't know what you would call that, how the battery kind of looks. It's kind of the same concept as the battery. So just remember to remove the negative before you start all this stuff as well. But it's kind of like how it slips on and off like that, and then you put the screw on. And then there's a cap on top of that. Just pop the cap on here, and then I did jack it up. So I did use the jack to jack it up. Jacked it up in the middle. And then I removed the side paneling or the inside flare for the wheel well, and that goes with 3. Let me see if I can find it on the camera. 3 T15s right here. I didn't take the wheel off too. I seen some people taking the wheels off and stuff on videos on how to change the serpentine belt, but I didn't take the wheel off. I didn't have to. Here's a T15. There's 3 of them here, and then it kind of
slides in like so that just comes right out. And then there's a couple under the bottom of T7, or excuse me, 7 millimeters that are right here, and a few that connect to this. So then we're able to get into the meats of it right over here. And then I used a nobody really shows you exactly where it's at, but it's right there. Right there is a 3/8 head. So I used the end of this right here. That's a 3/8. This is just a standard socket. That's a 3/8. You just stick the head in there, and then you turn it. Turn it left, and then it's going to loosen up the belt. And then you pop the belt off. You slide the belt off. I slid it off to this part right here. Right there. I just popped it off, and then it came off, and then I just pulled this baby out. Just pulled it right out, and then put it right back in, and then I hooked up the bottom piece first, where the battery connection is. I hooked that up, slid it on top of this because I never took this one out, so it just stayed in. So I slid it on that to give me like reference on where it goes. I put the bottom bolt in first because it makes it a little bit easier, because the bottom bolt, you know, you can't really see where you're positioning it. So I put that on first, tightened it up a little bit, and then I put this one on, tightened it up a little bit, and then tightened that one all the way up, and tightened that one all the way up. And then when I was putting on the belt itself, I actually took it off the bottom one so that I could bring it up. I put it on top of this one first, and then went back down, because it's kind of hard to do it by yourself. I could have had somebody help me, but I was like, let me figure out how to do it myself. And then I just tightened it, or loosened it as I could, and then just slid it right back on. And then, you know, and then once you take that off and stop trying to loosen it, it'll tighten back up itself. And then I tightened that one up. So now I'm at the point where I'm just putting everything back together, you know, but it is on, it's secured, it's good to go. I put the plug back in, was the final step. Put the plug back in, the belt's tightened, all bolts are fastened. There's only 3 bolts. I did use the same bolts that, you know, was on the original. There's the original right here. So everything's good to go, man. It actually didn't take me long at all. As soon as I figured out how to get that belt off, I was golden. Really handled it, got it done quickly. Didn't have to do a lot of things that I've seen other people, like it's just a bunch of different parts that are taken off, like this hose and then some other hose, draining radiator fluid. I didn't do any of that, so I felt like this is probably the most easiest way and the quickest way, because yeah, you might have to, you know, get a little bit of like movement going on over here to figure out how to get this thing in, you know. So just work with it, you know, be easy with it. Don't get aggressive, try to force anything, but it will work, because I've done it and I did it. And I did it without having to remove a bunch of stuff that I've seen other people doing. So hopefully this helps. It's super easy to get this back on. Just two little tight fasteners or whatnot, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what they call them. But hopefully this helps, and hopefully I explained it pretty well. If you think of any way else that could have been a better way, please let me know. I didn't have to take the tire off or anything like that, and that slid right out. Literally just like tucked in. Easy. Slid it right out. So yeah, I hope this helps. This is a 2012 Buick Verano, the base, the 2.4 Ecotech version. It's just a standard one. I think the same engine and setup goes from like 2012 to like 14 or 15. So this should help for those years as well, just in case you need any help. I appreciate it. Thank you.